In terms of genetic stuff, and particularly sort of tests for genes, the key in it is not to get into any sense of fear or to put your focus on trying to fix that problem, but realizing that your relationship with God desires you to be in health and wholeness and ultimately immortality. Therefore, he wants your whole being to come into oneness. Now, some of that is making sure spirit, soul, and body work together, not valuing one over the other, making sure you have that sense of oneness between who you are. So spirit and soul need to be functioning together with the body. So there's a sense of wholeness and cooperating with the body for health and in any way. So being healthy, sleeping, eating enough, all of the things which are generally a healthy lifestyle are really important. So cooperate together, but have that positive attitude towards health. And in a sense, therefore, when you take on the life of God, Jesus said in John 6, if you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you won't die. So I take that as a link to communion, but not in a religious sense of partaking of this sacrament, but partaking of the life of living in communion, of continually living in a state of health and wholeness, breathing in life and energy by focusing on that. Now, I do have declarations for communion, to take it every day, and then make declarations about, bringing the life of God into our DNA, cleansing anything there from the past, any wrong epigenetic factors or genetic factors, because I do believe that we can take on the life of God, and the DNA of God is completely healthy and whole. And it's obviously a sense of spirit, soul, and body. We have two strands of DNA which are physical. We also have a light strand of DNA which is designed to bring the physical and the spiritual together into one. And therefore, having that conscious awareness that you're whole and you're a tripart being and you have tripart DNA, which is designed to bring wholeness, that the spiritual dynamic of your DNA can bring the physical dynamic into balance of health and wholeness. So I would encourage you, yes, definitely take communion every day, but see it as receiving life and energy rather than thinking you've got to try and fix this negative problem. Focus on the positive rather than focusing on trying to deal with a negative. God desires you to be healthy and whole. His presence with you is life and energy. You have the rivers of living water flowing through your innermost being. You can focus on life and energy within your spirit, soul, and body from the relationship that we have. Live from a place of rest. Rest is a place of communion. Communion is a place of intimacy and being, rather than thinking you have to do something all the time. So even when I'm taking communion and I can be focused on this is the positive sense of life I'm receiving, I'm more grateful for the relationship that I have in which I can partake, and I'm in him and he's in me, than I am just making declarations, because they can just become a exercise and duty. Well, I'm going to make these declarations every day. Those declarations need to be something that you have within you, and they're an expression of what's already within you and what you already believe, rather than I'm making these declarations hoping for the best. Because God doesn't want you to hope for the best. He wants you to live in the truth of the best, which is that he has always wants good for you. And again, when you're looking at DNA, sometimes just going before the Father and asking the Father, when did this come into my DNA? Was there anything that I need to be aware of? Anything that happened? There may be people you need to forgive in your ancestors for introducing things into your DNA. You can do all that. You can do a court case and take your DNA into the court and ask if there are any accusations that the enemy has that can bring about any triggers or things within your DNA, and then receive a not guilty verdict and get your DNA free from accusations. So there's lots of little things you can do, but make sure you're just led to do them as the Father directs, rather than thinking, oh no, I've got this problem in my genetics, something's going to happen, therefore I better do this. Just keep at peace and rest, keep in that place of intimacy and love, and let the Father just show you how much he loves you and how much good he wants to bring into your life, and the fact that he'll bring all things together and work all those things together for good, even if those things are negative right now. Your positive reaction for having your DNA cleansed and you're knowing that you live in health and wholeness will be a benefit to someone else, because you'll be able to help them also to stay in that place of rest.